Hi, so I'm here to talk to you about math education in the era of Common Core. So this has been shaped by various pressures, partly at the federal level by departments of education, by economic pressures, and by the limited quality of faculty that we currently find available. So what Common Core is essentially is a set of modularized material that's easy to test for multiple choice exams. So you might be familiar with the old kind of math that you probably had, where you might have Algebra 1, Algebra 2, geometry. This was actually topical math. These are now broken up into pieces and basically repeated each year through Math 1, Math 2, Math 3, and at the lower levels. So what are the problems with this? What are the real problems with math education today? So, well, one of them is that parents can't help their students very well because the Common Core methods may be strange to them. There's also typically no graded homework at all. They will claim to have homework grades, but they're almost always just completion grades. These are grades where somebody will walk by and do a check mark for every student, see if they've written something down. The very dedicated teachers might occasionally take some homework up and grade it just to kind of intimidate the students into maybe actually giving it a try. Now, the problem with this is you're not really detecting problems early on. There's no personal feedback, no praise, no criticism of your workflow to see if that's going well. Now also the lower quality teachers generally just use pre-made material, so they're not generating their own lesson plans, which takes a certain amount of investment and prepares you to teach a class that's usually pretty much over. Now, also, the people who are teaching math now are typically not math enthusiasts. These are not people who have had a lifetime interest in math or passion for math. So this is something they got certified in. So they're not going to generally have a very deep level, though they might be able to do what's on the tests and materials themselves. Now, one problem with this is that if you don't have any culture or history of math, you're automatically teaching at a lower level. Students that have interesting questions, things that are out of the box, might be perceived as a threat to the teacher and get a rougher time of things, and they probably almost certainly will not get any of their questions answered. One thing that a lot of us don't realize who are now older is that the things that the students are using, the various proofs and tools and methods, are typically never really proven to them. So you might be in trig and using all these identities, but nobody's actually shown to you why this is true. So you're doing education in a different, lower quality way now. And furthermore, since there's no real geometry class anymore, you're not learning how to do proofs. So your one shot, your 1 year where you're learning to create high standards of argument, whether you care about geometry or not, rigorous high-level arguments, this won't occur again until maybe junior year or sophomore year in college if you are a math major. Otherwise, that's not going to happen. So what are the real dangers of this situation? Well, you're getting more cynical kids. They have a lower standard for what learning is. They almost universally have a lower level of ethics. Cheating has exploded over the last 10 years, and there's not even any cultural taboo against it among the peers. Unless you go to a very fancy collegiate school or private school, there's probably none. There's also this unfortunate discrimination going on against passionate learners. Now, these are the people we actually need to go on and get really good at math. But these are the ones who need to understand something, why it's true, in order to actually use it and do it. Otherwise, they stall out in frustration. That's just because that's what their standards are. It's not like they're deficient in any way. So what we've been doing is filtering for a shallower kind of student who works more with tricks than understanding. Now, not all of this is Common Core's fault, but this is an accurate description of where we are nationally with the education system in math.